Bad budgeting doesn't just drain your wallet, it destroys your sleep, your relationships, and your future. The stress of living paycheck to paycheck is killing Americans silently. In this video, you're going to learn a dead simple free account strategy that completely replaces traditional budgeting. We're going to walk through why budgeting is actually working against you and what the research says, the 3 specific accounts you need, what they are, where to open them, and exactly how much to put in each one. How this system builds real money over 10, 20, and 30 years with actual numbers and stick around till the end, because the third account is the one most people never set up, and it's the one that makes the biggest difference over time. This whole thing takes about 45 minutes to set up once. After that, it runs itself. Let's get into it. Meet Marcus. Marcus is 34. He works a decent job, brings home about $4,800 a month after taxes. He's not broke, he's not rich, he's just somewhere in the middle like most Americans. Every January, Marcus tells himself this is the year he gets serious about money. He downloads a budgeting app, he color codes his categories: groceries, gas, entertainment. He feels good for about 3 weeks. Then February hits. His daughter's school trip costs $120 he didn't plan for. He puts it on the card. Then his car needs new tires. $600. Card again. Then a friend's wedding comes up, and honestly, he deserves one good weekend. By March, Marcus has stopped opening the budgeting app entirely, not because he's irresponsible, but because budgeting feels like being on a diet while everyone around you is eating pizza. Eventually you snap. Here's the thing, Marcus isn't the problem. The system is the problem. Budgeting asks you to control every dollar, every day, forever. That's not a financial strategy, that's a part-time job. And here's the stat that might sting a little. According to a survey by Bankrate, over 80% of Americans who start a budget quit within the first 90 days. That's not a coincidence. That's a design flaw. So what do people who actually build wealth do differently? They don't budget at all, not the way you've been taught. The wealthiest households in America don't spend their time tracking groceries. They spend their time making their money move automatically. Why the old way doesn't work? Traditional budgeting is built on one assumption, that you'll make perfect decisions every single day. But behavioral economics, the science of how people actually make decisions, tells us something completely different. We know that willpower is a limited resource. The more decisions you have to make about money, the worse your decisions get as the day goes on. Researchers call it decision fatigue. That's why you can eat salads all morning and then crush a bag of chips at 9 p.m. Your discipline got used up. The same thing happens with money. So instead of trying to be perfect every day, the 3-account system removes the decisions almost entirely. You set it up once, the money moves on its own, and the rules are so simple you'll remember them without writing anything down. Here's how it works. Account number 1 is your command center, your checking account. This is where your paycheck lands. This is where your bills get paid from. But here's the twist. This account is not where you live your financial life. Think of it as a hub, not a home. Every time you get paid, money flows out of this account automatically to account 2 and account 3. What's left behind is what you actually spend that month. No categories, no tracking, just a number. Here's the magic of it. When you already know what's left is yours to spend, you stop second-guessing every purchase. The important stuff is already handled. There's no guilt in buying that pair of shoes or going to that restaurant, because your future is already being funded. Now let's get specific. If you're bringing home $4,800 a month, your command center might look like this. Fixed bills, rent, utilities, phone, subscriptions. $2,100. The rest flows to accounts 2 and 3 automatically on payday. That's it for account 1. It's a pass-through, a toll booth. Quick question, right now, do you actually know how much is in your checking account? Not roughly, exactly? Most people don't, and that's not laziness, it's information overload. Account number 2 is your peace of mind account. This is a separate savings account, and I mean truly separate. Different bank if you can swing it. The point is that it shouldn't be one click away from your spending. This account has one job, to kill financial emergencies before they kill your progress. Every financial expert in America agrees on this. Dave Ramsey calls it an emergency fund. Susie Orman calls it your safety net. Whatever you call it, the idea is the same. You need cash sitting somewhere that covers 3 to 6 months of your basic expenses. For Marcus, our guy from earlier, that's roughly $7,500 to $15,000. Now, before you panic, You don't build that overnight. You automate $300 a month into this account. Just $300. In 25 months, you've got your full emergency fund sitting there like a security guard for your finances. Here's what that actually means in real life. The next time your transmission goes out, you don't touch a credit card. You pull from account 2, then you rebuild it. No debt spiral, no interest charges, no setback. This account doesn't make you rich. It keeps you from going backward, and that might actually be more important. Myth: I'll save whatever's left at the end of the month. Reality: there's never anything left. You have to move it first, or it disappears. Look, I want to pause here for a second because I know what some of you are thinking. This sounds good in theory, but I'm already living paycheck to paycheck. I don't have $300 a month to move anywhere. I'm barely keeping the lights on. I hear that. I really do. And if that's your situation right now, I'm not going to pretend this is easy. But I will say this: the people who feel most trapped financially are almost always the ones who never set the system up. Not because they couldn't afford to, but because they kept waiting for the right time. The right time is now. Even if it's $50 a month, even if it's $25. Because here's what happens when you automate even a small amount. Your brain starts treating that money as already gone. You adjust. You adapt. And 6 months later, you've got a cushion you didn't think was possible. The system works regardless of your income. You just scale it to where you are. All right, let's talk about account 3, because this is the one that actually changes your life. Account number 3 is your wealth engine. This is your investment account. And if you don't have one right now, today is the day that changes. Here's what most people get wrong. They think investing is something you do after you have extra money, after the debt is paid, after the car is fixed, after the kids go to college, after. But after almost never comes. The 3-account system flips that. You fund account 3 first on payday, automatically, before you see it, before you can spend it. Now let's talk real numbers, because this is where it gets genuinely exciting. Let's say Marcus, 34 years old, puts just $400 a month into a Roth IRA or a low-cost index fund like a total market ETF. Something boring, something simple. If his investments grow at an average of 7% annually, which is a conservative estimate based on historical stock market performance, here's what happens. In 10 years, he has roughly $66,000. In 20 years, he has roughly $196,000. In 30 years, he has roughly $485,000 from $400 a month. That's not a typo. That's compound interest doing what compound interest does, working quietly in the background while Marcus lives his life. Now bump that to $600 a month. In 30 years, that's over $720,000. Here's the part that nobody warns you about. At 65, you're not going to remember the random weekend you blew $200 on, but you are going to feel the difference between having $485,000 or having nothing. That gap, it starts with the decision you make this month. And look, if your employer offers a 401k match and you're not taking it, that's the first thing you fix. A 401k match is free money. A 50% match on your contributions is an instant 50% return before the market does a single thing. For account 3, here's the simple playbook. 1. First, contribute to your 401k, at least up to your employer match. Second, max your Roth IRA, if you're eligible, $7,000 a year in 2024. 3. Third, any remaining investment money goes into a regular brokerage account. You don't need to pick individual stocks. You don't need to watch CNBC. A simple SP 500 index fund or a target date retirement fund does the heavy lifting. Set it and genuinely forget it. So let's bring it all together. You get paid. The money hits account 1, your command center. Within 24 hours, automatic transfers kick in. Account 2, peace of mind, gets its monthly deposit. Whatever you can swing, even $100 to start. Account 3, wealth engine, gets funded, ideally 10-15% of your take-home pay. What's left in account 1, that's your spending money for the month. Bills, groceries, gas, fun, all of it, from what remains. No budget, no categories, no spreadsheet. The system has already made the hard decisions for you. Now you just live. And here's the beautiful part. As your income grows, you increase the automatic transfers. The system scales with you. Raise at work, bump account 3 by half the raise, side income picking up, route it straight to account 2 until it's fully funded, then shift it to account 3. You're not budgeting, you're engineering. Studies show that people who automate their savings save nearly 3x more than people who try to save manually, not because they earn more, because the decision is already made. If this clicked for you, if something here made you look at your finances a little differently, drop a comment below. Tell me which account you're setting up first. I read every single one.